Grand Risings. It's snowing. It's snowing. Yeah. Wow. Look how fucking beautiful the garden looks in the snow. Like, all these branches are all like hanging down and heavy with the snow. So the whole garden looks different. So you have to forgive me if I keep like, because I keep getting my attention drawn by things falling and branches drooping, and just the garden looks different. So I'm like, ooh. But that's not the point of the video today. But it's a nice backdrop though, right? It's a nice little addition to the video. But today I would like to talk about a beautiful chant called Rudram. And Rudram is it's something that I was introduced to about 4 or 5 years ago. And I listen to it every day. I listen to it every single day, at least once a day. When I was first introduced to it, I listened to it at least once a day. Usually, probably twice, sometimes thrice. For probably a good 2 or 3 years, I would say. Probably going up to about 3 years. Yeah, I'd say about 3 years. And then I stopped listening to it for a while. I got a little bit distracted by the Matrix. A little bit. Well, I suppose as with anything, you can't really appreciate something until it's not been there for a while, can you? So maybe that's why. But about 3 or 4, so probably listen to it occasionally for a bit, and then about 3 or 4 months ago, I started listening to it a little bit more regularly again, delving back into it, and I realised just how much of a powerful tool it had been for me, just how much this specific chant, this Rudram, had contributed to my ability to be in stillness and present moment and mindfulness, and just how much it had contributed to my ability to navigate the 3D realm, my ability to navigate my emotions, my ability to navigate stress and difficult situations. And it came up again in my sphere. So last week I was asked to do like an energetic ceremony, which I did, and before each kind of healing work that I do, I sit and I meditate about how the ceremony / session is going to go. And so each one is different, which is pretty cool. I like that. Each session is always different. And this particular session, I was nudged to play Rudram at the end of the session. And so I was like, all right, okay. We'll sit and we'll do, at the end of the session, we'll sit and we'll listen to this together in silence. And the person in particular that I did the session with said that was the point. Listening to that was the point, that what was expected to happen happened. And they said it was very powerful, and they were very appreciative of being introduced to it. And then the other day I was with a friend, And again, I got the nudge to like be, I can't even remember how the conversation went and why it got onto that. And it was like, oh, like, I think you might want to listen to this. And she said the same, like, really powerful. She's going to try listening to it every day for a week and see what happens. Which, like, made me really, like, happy. It made me happy that, like, it's power, that what it's obviously intended for is it happens. It's not just me. Like, you know, I didn't just listen to it and like get something totally different from it. It's a genuinely powerful chant. And just to give you a bit of background on it, it's called Rudram. I'm not sure if it's got like other names or longer bits to it, but that's what I know it as. And it's, hey Robin, it's about, I don't know, it's over 3,000 years old, I think. It's thousands of years old anyway. And I think from what I remember, like, it was passed on like orally. It was, you know, it was spoken and learnt and then repeated. And so I recorded a video of me listening to it in the garden yesterday. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna smoosh on the Rudram. Or I might do it in a separate video, yeah, I'm not sure. If I do it in a separate one, I'll upload them at the same time so that it will be immediately available. But yeah, so I recorded a video of me listening to it in the garden yesterday, and I'm going to put a link in the description box to the website that I use to listen to it. Where was I? Thousands of years old. It's handed down orally. Yeah, so it lasts about half an hour. It's about half an hour long, which I think is fucking so cool that people learn that off by heart. But when the first time I ever heard it, like the first time, it was almost like really familiar. It felt like I already knew it. It felt really like I could almost predict what was coming. Hey, you okay? So I could almost predict what was coming. Like I felt like I knew the rhythm of it and the sounds of it, and it became like, after listening to it for a couple of weeks, like every day, like I could almost like chant large sections of it myself, which just, I feel like it's an ancestral thing. I feel like it's a very important part of our DNA, this chant. Well, my DNA at least, it feels so familiar. It feels so important when I listen to it. And the more I listened to it, the more I dropped into presence, the more that I felt awe and amazement and wonderment, I would say, is probably a good word, at the everything, you know. Really helped me to appreciate the everything, you know, not just the nice, happy, joyful, clean, you know, things, bits of life, and the bits that make us feel comfortable and the bits that make us feel joy, but wonderment and awe at everything, at the chaos, at the mess, at the dirt, at the grief, at the sorrow, at the bird, like the really simple things, like the birds, the sounds, the leaves, the colours of things, the taste of things, just existence. And I realised that what helped me with that was that it was like, hey baby, was that the more I listened to it, the the more I realised that it was the gaps in between the words that were just as, they were just as important and powerful as the actual words. And when I try to describe it to people, I describe it as listening to it is like watching incense smoke. So it has this rhythm, this energetic rhythm that moves through the air, and it's very powerful. So after getting called twice to give other people this information, I decided I'm going to start listening to it every day again. And then I suppose I wanted to share it with you guys, because I wanted to do a live meditation the other day, and I just hadn't planned it. I hadn't planned it, and so I'd not booked it in. And it's like, oh well. So I'm going to do one on Sunday coming up. On the Sunday coming up, I'm going to book it in. I'm going to do the thing, do the YouTube's thing, book it in, and I might listen to the Rudram on the meditation. I might not. I don't know. But I will be doing a live meditation in the garden. It would be really cool if it was snowing again. And yeah, I just wanted to share it with you guys. And you, sharing it with everybody. Yeah, I wanted to share this beautiful piece of chanting with you. So the guy that I listen to, I've listened to it in many forms, and it doesn't seem to hit the same as this guy that does it. So he's got a recording on his website of him doing it on his own, and then him and his chanting partner, a woman, doing it together. And it's the male and the female one together that really fucking, it's powerful, man. It's powerful. It's powerful shit. Yeah, and so I wanted to share his website with you, and just see what I suppose other people think about it. I'd be really interested to know, how other people find listening to it on a daily basis, what it does for them, and what they sort of gain from it, because it genuinely has been didn't realise until the other day when I had it on in the ceremony. I mean, like I said, I've listened to it intermittently since I stopped listening to it every day, but it was in that moment, and that's at the end of the ceremony, that I realised just how much of a powerful tool the Rudram has been for me, and how it changed my way of thinking. It must help you to reprogram your mind and get out of shitty thinking. It does something. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but it does something. Yeah, and especially now winter's coming, I do like to try, at least, which is not always easy in, society, to sort of be a bit more quiet during the winter, to do less, to sleep more. Do less. I'm supposed to be doing less. I try to do less and sleep more and be a bit more still, and I don't think it's something that we're gifted enough during winter in modern society. When it's dark and the days are shorter and the temperature is colder, and there's supposed to be an ebb and a flow. Always, it's supposed to cycle, and we don't allow ourselves to follow those cycles enough anymore. I don't feel like we do anyway. And yeah, so it'd be nice to listen to it every day again. It'd be nice to use that as a nice tool to process and integrate the lessons learned over the year and let it trickle down and process it properly and thoroughly. Be quiet and still and go inwards a little. And so I will be utilising the Rudram. Yeah, and I'd be really grateful to hear in the comments, you know, like what you got from it and what you feel about it, and if you've got any suggestions as to different chants that you may have used and what your tools have been, if you've used, you know, if you've utilised tools for stillness and presence, and you know, what has worked for me might not work for other people. And so, you know, if you're commenting and putting your suggestions forward, other people might, you know, that might resonate with them more than what I'm saying. So, you know, I believe in, you know, the divinity of everything, and that I might not be able to give somebody the right tool, but by watching this video they might pick up on a comment that, you know, is the right tool. So please do. I'm really interested in what other people have used. I wouldn't want to be working out in this using tools. Freezing. And I hope you can join me for the live meditation on Sunday. I've missed doing them, if I'm honest. I've really missed doing them. And missed sort of sharing that time and space with people. But thank you for joining me in my garden today with the snow and the noisy neighbours. And yeah, thank you for all your support. I've had some beautiful comments left and some, you know, lovely interactions with you guys recently. Thank you. I really appreciate your support, your likes, your shares, your subscribing, comments, all the things. I appreciate you for just showing up. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like. You don't have to comment. You know, just being together is enough, isn't it? Really. So thank you. I really appreciate your presence and your being, and for sharing the space with me. My garden. The garden. It's not really mine, it does its own thing. As you can see. Yeah, so thank you. I hope you appreciate the Rudram. Please check out the website. It's got a cool description as to what the Rudram actually is. Probably better than I've described it. And kind of gives a little translation as to what it kind of means. It's pretty much just what I do, really. It's just giving gratitude for the everything, for the existence, for the all, for the everything. Hope you enjoy your snowy day. I hope it hasn't stopped you doing too much. And you know, it hasn't slowed your day down too much that it's frustrating. But yeah, have a blessed day. I love you very much, and enjoy the Rudram if you want, or don't. Just let me know what you think.